What's up, everybody? It's your boy Baybar to Go Bar. Hope everyone had a Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or whatever it is that you guys celebrate. Mine was chaotic because I have a 2-year-old, but it was still a lot of fun. Anyway, so I wanted to bring you another Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest video. It's been a couple of weeks, and so sorry for the delay. The first thing I want to say is booster crafting! Dude. Well, I mean, honestly, I don't know. Maybe Hibernium was going to come out with an awesome booster crafting and it was just going to be like this. I doubt it. I think this is Octagon. Honestly, I really think they listened a lot to the community. They understood, myself and a lot of other members that really said, hey, let us collect the cards. We're going to spend more money. We're going to be anxious to get them. We're going to be willing to spend more for other things. Just let us actually collect the cards. It sucks to be able to see these mythics in people's decks that you just know are never going to come your way. Now, admittedly, that's still the case with masterpieces, but at least with masterpieces, you never really thought you were going to get them, right? I mean, come on. And to be fair, these are rare cards even in the paper Magic, where it's a pretty expensive proposition to just collect a whole set. I think I saw one on eBay for the Amonkhet block for like $1,500 the other day. So that was never going to be a cheap thing to collect. But anyway, dude, love it. As you can see, I'm down to a pretty low amount of orbs. A couple of quick things. I mean, if you're not super familiar with it, you can just tap on this wheel, which instead of having to kind of scroll through it and get on the right one, you can just tap the wheel and then click the one you want. So I'll click Amonkhet there. I got myself a Sandworm Convergence, which is really what I was looking through out of this set. I mean, just with the mechanics here, ability to switch between, the common to mythic factors. Okay, cool, I want an Amonkhet mythic. Which cards do I have available? I never thought this was going to be a feature where I can actually see what I'm missing. Love it. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to buy one. Come on. Not Nihab. Oh, well. But actually now I can build a pretty cool Minotaur deck, so maybe you'll see one of those in the future. The ones I think I really want would be Curator, which I don't actually cycle, so maybe I don't want him. I really just can't stand that mechanic. It's just not fun for me. And then Combat Celebrant I do want because he's really good in a zoo deck, but also he completes, I think, a couple of the Planeswalkers decks. So anyway, I'm gonna do a deck today it's actually already posted a version of it in my channel, but I just wanted to say, and now that you guys can make this is, in my opinion, the best deck in the game. It's not the best control deck. It probably is the best just raw DPS deck, even though that might not be true. There might be some Kiora type cycling decks that use Waterveil and stuff that can really get looping and end up just one-shotting someone with 16,000 damage on one creature, which I might show you something like that in the future. But this is the most consistent deck that's also a huge DPS engine. I think it's probably the best deck in the game. If you're really going to try and prevent damage, it's not that great at that. If there's certain things it's not the best at. But as far as all around, this last Avacyn's Madness deck, I basically yanked this thing out and played it in virtually all the fights, and beat Avacyn on turn 2 or 3, beat Startled Awake. Actually, I didn't use it in Startled Awake because you weren't allowed to cast spells, but beat some of the other big bosses like the Gaia Reach Bandit in just a couple of turns. So amazing deck. I'm going to display it today, and first we're going to go into Training Grounds. I'm going to edit this so that you don't see the player's name, so I can post it on the forums. I'll see you back in I mean, really, the first 2 cards are what says it all. Deploy the Gatewatch is a beast. Fetch the first 3 creatures in your library and place them onto the battlefield. It's always been a good card ever since it came out, and for 23 mana, that's a pretty good ramp for some of these big creatures. However, when you pair it with Hazaret's Undying Fury, it becomes ungodly. Basically, what Hazaret's Undying Fury, everyone calls it HuF, HuF, is you fetch the first 4 spells in your library, reduce their cost to 0, then each card in your hand is fully drained of its mana. Now, you guys can play around with this deck as much as you want, but the key to this deck, or any HuF deploy deck, is you can only have 2 spells in it. Because what you want to do is play HuF, and then you want to get 4 copies of Deploy the Gatewatch. Incidentally, with the recent patch, they actually changed how this worked. It used to be that, if you had a deploy in hand, or if you exiled one, or even played one previously, you would only draw, X minus, or, 4 minus X, like the amount of deploys that are technically left in the deck. Now it always draws 4, always fills 4, assuming you have enough room in your hand. That's the other big thing. You just got to make sure you have 4 empty spaces in your hand when you cast Hazoret's Undying Fury. Really, from there, you want to have, ideally some just really big, powerful creatures. We use Decimator of Provinces because it's a beast, and plus it gives everything. The important one is haste, but the +4/+4 is also a big deal. It has Emrakul, which I think is a fantastic choice in this deck because it basically, if you don't kill them in one shot, it basically time walks. I mean, it makes everything in their hand cost 13 more mana, and this often gets deployed, say, 3 or 4 times if you're casting, 4 deploys. So it gives you, like, unless they're gonna somehow come up with, 52 mana if you cast 4 of them plus whatever the card normally costs. So it really just shuts them down, pretty much 100%, unless they draw the card off the top and play that one. The other two, this is a new feature. I'll give the credit to Ironer on my guild in Goblin Pile or Deceived. He had the idea of pairing Gazella, who I just recently got with Booster Crafting, with Bruna. And so what that does is it doesn't leave you an empty space. Previously I was using like Metalwork Colossus and Boomship, and whichever one started building the stack first, I would just not, put the next one out there. But since Gazella and Bruna do this meld component, it actually works out beautifully, and you never have to waste creatures coming onto the board. Other than that, really, there's just Hixus for defense. I'm not sure this is probably the best card. I think you could do a different one, say... Oh man, what is the one called where you basically cast the support and you could cycle it and you target which player you want to disable? I'm blanking. Sorry about that, guys. I'll probably come to me in a little bit. But I just got Hixus, so I'm playing with that. Again, Pyramid, I'm not sure it's not better just to cycle for your HuF and use like one of the dual lands that has the cycle component, but I just got Pyramid as well, which is a pretty fantastic card. And then I have just 2 draw engines, some Fevered Visions, and the Archive. Okay, so we're gonna give it a whirl. I'm gonna bounce out of here again and come back when the game starts to show you what we got. All right, so here we go. We fortunately managed to get Hazoret's Undying Fury in our opening hand. So this seems crazy, but I'm just gonna go ahead and discard these 2. Let's hope. I think there's some old school cards that maybe discard in red from the SOI block, but I kind of doubt he's running them. So now we're basically just trying to get up to 21 mana, and then this deck will tee off. So we're about halfway there with our first connection. That was a big turn for our buddy HuF. Oh, look at him. He's throwing some meld creatures out there as well. That is not something you see very often. What is this guy? That is terrible. Alrighty then, for 15 mana. But it's I don't know, maybe it's not that bad. And I might even try and like meld it now that we've got the deploy. I'm looking for other fun options. I'm just gonna take this 7, and this is we got enough for Hazoret's Undying Fury. So now you see we have 4 copies of Deploy the Gatewatch. Emrakul gives us Time Walk. Bruna is a big defender out there. Decimator of Provinces is gonna give each creature I have haste. And now we're just going to deploy the rest of them. And since we use both Gazella and Bruna, we're guaranteed that all of our creatures are going to hit the board. And at this point, we're actually guaranteed, I believe, that we're going to, I think we're 100% guaranteed that we're going to hit them hard enough to actually knock them out in just one turn. If you were keeping track at home, we've deployed 4 of our Emrakuls, I believe, and a bunch of pigs, and he's dead. Pig, and then like the other guys, and don't give him haste, for instance, then you're pretty much going to get a turn. As soon as you cast Hazoret's Undying Fury, you're going to get a win against any of the Planeswalkers. So, alright, so I probably had to cut some of that because I showed the guy's name, so I'll cut that out, and I'll just say, honestly, this one-hit wins pretty much every time. I think, like, really you could get badly unlucky if you paid, like, pig, and then, like, didn't give haste to your other 2 creatures. Other than that, it's pretty much a turn 1 knockout. So anyway, again, that was this is something needs to be probably nerfed with this deck. I don't know if it's the way Deploy works or if the way it's Hazoret's Undying Fury works, but this is a totally broken combo that just makes a lot of the encounters extremely easy. But hey, man, you can actually build the deck, and so it'll be a lot of fun. Again, it probably is better off not going with Hixus and instead going with some of the other little supports. But anyway, I'm going to sign off. Love you guys, and again, happy holidays, happy new year, and we'll see you next time. Peace.